compaction. So always try to understand. We want to compress the data. Okay, always keep in mind we are compressing the data. That means we are doing encoding, and we have the reason behind the rationale behind the compression. Why do we go for the compression? Okay, so we have seen for the data compression. Now we are seeing the image compression. In this image compression, we are very much specific. We need to understand the JPEG format, the JPEG compression. Okay. Now today we'll be talking about the JPEG compression. But before that JPEG compression, write down one more point regarding the energy compaction in the same feature. Full stop. Continue. Therefore, DCT is useful. Write down. Therefore, DCT is useful in lossy image compression. Therefore, DCT is used or is useful in lossy compression in a lossy image compression because it has very strong energy compaction. Because it has very strong energy compaction. Okay. So you just remember energy compaction is equals to the minimum frequency components required to be said. Minimum frequency components or frequency coefficients instead of sending the whole set of pixels. Okay, instead of sending the whole set of pixels, we are only sending few number of frequency coefficients. We are sending only few number of frequency coefficients. Okay, now we are going to understand now JPEG compression. Okay, or JPEG schematic, where you will be able to understand how the image is compressed or how the image is converted from the raw image into the JPEG format. Okay, so write down the heading now. JPEG format, JPEG format, JPEG format. Or we can also say that it is a JPEG coding. JPEG coding. JPEG format or JPEG coding. So we have a block diagram for this. Okay, we have a block diagram for this. In the exam also, they will be asking you to explain about the JPEG format. They may also ask you for the JPEG 2000. Okay, if the question is asked to explain this, you can explain with the block diagram. Okay, so we are going to understand the JPEG format. So as already I have told you that we are using the DCT, that is a discrete Fourier transform, in the image compression technique. Okay, so in the JPEG compression, DCT plays an important role. Okay, so where you will place this DCT? Where you will place this DCT? So we will start with the block diagram. So you can just draw the block diagram along with me. So you have an image. Okay, you have an image. Okay, and this image should be of 8 by 8 block size. The block size of the image should be, so this is my image. The block size should be 8 by 8. I am giving you in general now block diagram. I will explain the specific the blocks afterwards. Okay, so you have an image. Over this image, you will be applying the DCT. You will be using the DCT. So over the image, you apply the DCT. Once the DCT is applied, you are passing through the quantizer. So you have a quantizer. I hope you have studied this quantizer or sampling in the DCOM, digital communication. You must have studied this quantization or sampling. Okay, so the same thing is applicable here also. Quantizer. Then this is more processed through the zigzag scanning. So you have a zigzag scanning. Zigzag scanning. Then it is given to the entropic encoding or entropy encoder. Entropy encoder. Then after entropy encoder or encoding, it is either sent through the channel if I want to transmit this image or store. So you transmit through the channel or you store this image. Okay, then this is actually happening in the encoding part. This is actually happening at the encoding part. Once the encoding is done, you either transmit through the channel or you store the image. Okay, whenever you transmit the channel, you transmit the image at the receiver, exactly inverse of this will happen. So channel or storage. Now if I want to transmit, then you have entropy decoder. So here you have entropy decoder. So you have entropy encoder, so you will have inverse of that, you have entropy decoder. Then you are doing zigzag scanning, so here you will reverse. Zigzag scanning, you will do the inverse or reverse of that. You will do the reverse of that. Then here you have a quantizer. Now here you will have a dequantizer. Okay, here you will have a dequantizer. And after the dequantizer, you have done the discrete cosine transform. Here you will do the inverse discrete cosine transform. So it is IDCT. IDCT. And after IDCT, whatever you get a raw image. You get a raw image. So this is the image which you are sending. So this is your raw image. So this is a block diagram to explain you the JPEG format. I have told you one of the important blocks, DCT, which already we have studied. We have seen the equations for that. Okay, we have seen the matrix, the coefficient of the matrix. Okay, by using that particular formula. Okay, then we go with the quantizer, then we go with the zigzag scanning, then we go with the entropy encoder. Then you either store the image or you transmit through the channel. At the receiver, you have to do exactly the reverse of this. So entropy decoder, then reverse zigzag scanning, then it is a dequantizer, and after dequantizer you applied inverse discrete cosine transform, and after you apply this inverse discrete cosine transform, you will get the image which is exactly the same. So I can say this is a compression and this is a decompression. So my compression will be this. So these are the blocks which will do the compression. These are the blocks which will do the compression, and this is the decompression. Okay, so here I am having decompression. So you compress the image, you transmit, and you do the reverse of that to decompress the image. So for decompression, you have entropy encoder, you have reverse zigzag scanning, you have dequantizer, and you have IDCT. So 4 blocks and 4 blocks. So this is the block diagram. Now we are going to see the block diagram in detail. We will see the block diagrams in detail. So have you drawn this block diagram? Shall you proceed further? Yes, shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to rub this now. This is a block diagram for JPEG format. So write down something about the JPEG format. Please write down number 1. JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group. Joint Photographic Experts Group. So JPEG full form you should know. Joint Photographic Experts Group. Second point, write down. It is the first international standard in image compression. It is the first international standard in image compression. It is the first international standard in image compression. Yes. Now we'll be talking about each and every block. Okay. So the blocks which are more important, we'll go into the detail of that. Okay. So the first important thing you have understood, already I have told you about the DCT block. Okay. Now to apply the DCT over the image, I have to do some pre-processing over the image. I have to do some pre-processing over the image. Okay. And that is called as pre-processing of the image before applying the DCT. Before applying the DCT. So please start to understand. So if I'm having this image, okay. So if I'm having this image where I have written S, okay. Now this particular image has to be converted into two important formats. The formats are, the first thing is that this should be converted into 8x8 blocks. It has to be converted to 8x8 blocks. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Here also 8x8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So here you have 8x8 blocks. So this is what is pre-processing over the image. Okay. So you have to pre-process. Okay. So what I have told you that we have to do two important pre-processing. The first thing is that the image should be converted into 8x8 block. The second thing, now sometimes this image may be in the color image. Okay, it may be in the color image. So when you talk about the color image, that means this image consists of your three, that is typical three colors, that is R, G, and B. This is typical three color R, G, and B. So you have R, G, and B, red, green, and blue. So you know that whatever color you get, by the whatever color you want, you can just combine these three important basic colors to get that particular image, color. Okay. So RGB image is that RGB image has to be converted into, okay. So that I can just write down, I can just draw here that if you have the image of RGB, you convert this image into that is called as a color transform. This is called as color transform. So this is called as color transform. So convert this image which is of RGB into YCBCR image. Convert your RGB image, that is a colorful image, into YCBCR image. So what is this YCBR? Here Y indicates what? It indicates the brightness. You can draw along with me. So YCBCR, where Y stands for brightness, CB stands for color blueness, ब्रैकेट में लिखो, color blueness, ब्रैकेट में लिखो, blue difference relative to the green color. What you have written? Blue difference relative to the green color. And the last one, that is CR stands for color redness. And write down in bracket, red difference relative to the red color. So in this RGB in this RGB, we are seeing the red and green. So R that is red is converted into CR, that is color redness. Color redness, what you have written, the red difference relative to the red color. And for green, that is converted into color blueness. Color blueness. And what is the color blueness? This is a blue difference related to the green color. Okay. We are not doing anything over the blue color. We are not doing anything over the blue color. Okay. And the brightness that is given by Y. The brightness which is given by Y. So we are not here to understand the detail of this, but we should understand that whatever the color image is that has to be converted into YCB-CR. YCB-CR, where Y stands for brightness, CB stands for color blueness, and CR stands for color redness. Okay, so this is the component we have. This is the component we have. Okay, now why do we have to go from this to this? Okay, or if the color is RGB, that can be converted into grayscale also. So whatever the color image you have, now this will you will understand when you will understand the image compression, okay, or image processing. So whenever you have to do some processing over the image, the first thing is that image should be converted into grayscale. The grayscale is nothing but black and white. The grayscale is nothing but black and white image. Okay, so nowhere you will see that image, the color image, we are processing over the color image without converting that color image into grayscale. So either you convert into grayscale or you convert into YCBR. Okay, but as far as this JPEG is concerned, we are having this YCB-CR. Okay, so always remember the color image converted into grayscale if I have to do the image processing, or convert into YCB-CR if I am talking about the JPEG compression. Okay, so in this example, you are converting into YCB-CR. Okay, so the two important thing is, first is this, convert into 8x8 blocks, and your image should be YCB-CR. YCB-CR. Now here, the important thing is that when your RGB color space is converted into YCB-CR color space, okay, then you are actually what you are doing, you are making the frequency, or you are downsampling the frequency. What does it mean? That whatever the image you have, whatever the image that is the image is in the color, when you are doing in the grayscale, actually you are minimizing the frequency component. Now here actually I have to do the DCT. Okay, but before DCT I am doing this calculation. Before applying the DCT, I am doing the pre-processing. Okay, so in the pre-processing, the important thing is that we have to bring down the scaling of this particular image. Okay, that means agar there is more brightness, you have to come down, we have to bring down to the minimum brightness. Okay, because as far as JPEG compression is concerned, or image compression is concerned, I have told you this will come under the lossy compression. In the lossy compression, we are removing or discarding the unwanted frequencies, as well as the higher frequencies are downscaled to the lower frequencies. The higher frequencies are downscaled to the lower frequencies. So here, actually, in the compression, you are compromising with the the data. You're compromising with the data, because the unwanted data is removed, it is discarded. That is why it is a lossy. It is not a lossless. Image compression is a lossy compression, in which the unwanted data you are removing. Okay, so the frequency components are downscaled to YCB-CR. Okay, so we are not going to the detail of this YCBR, but I am just saying that before you apply the DCT, you have to downscale this particular image. Okay, so either you go with a grayscale or you bring into YCB-CR. Now the second thing is that when you apply this 8x8 block, I have told you, if I take this particular pixel, if I'm taking this particular pixel, okay, now this pixel, or if I'm having this image, I have told you that you have to divide, or you have to subdivide into 8x8 blocks. you have to subdivide this into 8 by 8 blocks. So you have to divide this into 8 by 8 blocks. Now, when you talk about the 8 by 8 blocks, okay, then each particular block will have 64 pixels. Will have 64 pixels. Okay. So whenever you convert into 8 by 8 blocks, each block will have 64 pixels. Which will have 64 pixels. And in such manner, you have how many? 8 by 8. So 64. 64 into 64. So this much pixels value you have. Okay, this much pixel values you have. Now, when I am talking about the pixel values, when I talk about the pixel values, you have to understand this, that these pixel values is for 64 pixel values is for each block. Okay. Now, this particular image, suppose this is the image, and when I am converting into 8 by 8 blocks of each block of 64 pixels, okay, then each block will have some number, okay. Now this block will have the number, each block will have the number, and the range of that number will be from 0 to 255. I mean to say that each block will have the number depending upon the intensity and the pixels contained in that. The number will vary from 0 to 255. Okay. For example, here it will be 50. Okay. Here it will be suppose 125. So these are the range from 0 to 255. Okay. Then here if you have 91, here you will have 115, and so on and so forth. So each block will have these pixel values. Now these are the values now, pixel values. Okay. But how many pixels you have? 64. And pixel value will range from 0 to 255. Now I have to reduce this block. I have told you that before you apply the DCT, I have to bring down these pixel values. So these pixel values of 0 to 255 has to be brought down. How do you bring down these pixel values? You are subtracting 128 from each pixel values. You have to subtract 128 from each pixel values, so that the range becomes from minus 128 to 127. Again, I am repeating. I have told you that you have an 8 by 8 blocks. Okay, each block has 64 pixels. Each block is having pixel values. The pixel values is in the range of 0 to 255. Okay, so every block will have the range of 0 to 255. Okay, but I have to compress the data. So compressing the data, I have to convert this 0 to 255 into the range of minus 128 to 127. How do you get minus 128 to 127? You have to subtract 128 from each pixel value. For example, 0 minus 128, minus 128. Okay, 255 minus 128, 127. So you have that range. Okay, so we are compressing the data. So the pixel values has been reduced to 128 to 127. Okay, now whenever you reduce, so you will have this block is in the range of 128 to 127. Okay, now this is the prerequisite before you apply DCT. So whatever I explained you just now, this is the pre-processing of the image before you apply DCT. Okay, so you please remember that block diagram. So before I apply the DCT, I have just shown you the image. लेकिन image में ये सब करना पड़ता है. Then only I can apply the DCT. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Whatever is written on the board, you can just write it down. Okay, I have just told you the raw image. This raw image can be RGB converted into the particular YCP CR. Okay, and actually each block is of 64 pixels, or it is 8 by 8 block. Okay, so always we'll be having 8 by 8 block. So always I have to, if I'm having a bigger image, then this particular block will be of 8 by 8. This particular block is of 8 by 8. This particular block is of 8 by 8. Okay, so I need to divide this particular block into 8 by 8. I have to subdivide the image into 8 by 8 blocks. Okay, so this is the pre-processing before I apply the DCT. Okay. After this, you can just write down the few sentences. ये लिखने के बाद just write down few sentences. Image, the raw image, the raw image is subdivided into blocks of 8 by 8 pixels. The raw image has to be subdivided into blocks of 8 by 8 pixels. This process is also called as splitting. This process is also called as splitting. S-P-L-I-T-T-I-N-G. Splitting. Splitting means subdividing the image into, or subdivided the image into 8 by 8 blocks. So that is called as the splitting. After splitting, perform color space transformation. Perform color space transformation. Bracket में लिखो RGB to YCBCR. RGB to YCBCR. This one, that is color transform. RGB to YCBCR. And then apply DCT. And then apply DCT. And then apply DCT. Okay. And then apply DCT. And then apply DCT. Okay. So this is what we have to do before applying the DCT. Now, as far as the DCT is concerned, I have already told you in DCT what we are doing. Okay. So DCT, actually we are bringing down the frequency components. Okay. We are converting the spatial domain into the frequency domain. So 90% will be in lower frequency components. Okay. Whatever the frequency components are there in the image, that will be lower down into a lower frequency component. Okay. So 90% will be 90% of the image. 90% of the image will be lower down into the lower frequency components. Okay. In short, I can say. Okay. So जो मैंने बताया था 128 to 127, every block will have the pixel values. Okay. So on this now image, you apply the DCT. You apply the DCT. Okay. So you have the you will be applying the DCT on this particular image, so that you will be getting the you will be getting the values. You will be getting the values. Okay. That means actually when I'm applying the DCT on the image, I am bringing down the frequency components to the lower frequency component. That is in short. Okay. That is in short. Then afterwards, after this DCT, we are using the quantizer. Okay, what do you mean by quantizer now? Now this is the important thing. Quantizer. Quantizer is nothing but we are sampling down to the lower values. Sampling down to the lower values. Okay. You must have studied this in the DCOM, digital communication. Okay, that is sampling and then quantizer. So quantizer is nothing but bringing down the frequency components to the minimum frequency values. Okay, that is a quantizer. Okay. Now, when I am using the DCT, these 64 coefficient values. What are the 64 coefficient values? Now I have told you that this is my 8 by 8 blocks. Okay. So 8 by 8 blocks means how many coefficients you have? You have 64 coefficients. You have 64 coefficients. Okay. Now this 64 coefficients has to be lower down to lesser frequency components. And actually this is nothing but you are using your quantization. You are doing quantization. Okay. So this 64 coefficient values the 64 coefficient values, you are lowering down to the lesser frequency component. That is nothing but we are doing the quantization. We are doing the quantization. Okay. So 8 by 8 is 64. So 64 coefficients you have, lower down to the lower frequency components. By using what? By using quantization. By using quantization. Okay. So in the quantization, you can just write down, thus generated 64 coefficients, thus generated 64 coefficients are further quantized to reduce their magnitude, and bracket में लिखो this compression. Okay, so this is about the quantization. Now after quantization, what you have? You have zigzag. Okay, now in the zigzag, now see, this is the image you have, 4 by 8 by 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4, okay, 7 and 8. Okay, now zigzag scanning, it only brings what? It only brings, or the coefficients are then reordered into one dimensional array. Okay, and zigzag कैसा होता है? See, the zigzag will happen in this manner. So you have gone here, then you will come down, then again you will come here, then again. So this is called as zigzag scanning. Okay, this is called as zigzag scanning. So not to go into the detail of this, how the scanning is done, but zigzag scanning is done. Why so? This zigzag scanning is done to reorder the coefficients and convert this coefficient into one dimension. Convert this coefficient into one dimension. One dimension means 64 by 1. 64 by 1. How many columns? Single column. How many rows? 64 rows. So if I want to bring down, if I have to bring down this particular coefficient into one dimensional, then I have to reorder the coefficient so that I will get one dimension. This is called as one dimension. This is called one dimension. What is the size of one dimension? It is 64 by 1. Single column, 64 rows. Single column, 64 rows. That is the meaning. Okay. So zigzag scanning is done in this manner. So all the coefficients will be scanned and they will be reordered into a one dimension. So this is called as zigzag scanning. Okay. So for this, you can just write down one line. The coefficients are then reordered into, the coefficients are then reordered into, the coefficients are then reordered into a one-dimensional array, into a one-dimensional array. Bracket में लिखो, if you want 64 by 1, 64 by 1 into a one-dimensional array in a zigzag manner, before entropy encoder is applied. Before entropy encoder is applied. Before entropy encoder is applied. Full stop. Write down one more thing. Zigzag scanning is also done to exploit redundancy. Underline this sentence. To exploit redundancy. To exploit redundancy. So whenever you do this zigzag scanning, you are also looking for the redundancy bits, if any, or to exploit the redundancy. So in this zigzag scanning, all the coefficients are get scanned. Okay, all the 64 coefficients are get scanned and they are reordered in a one dimension. Okay, so to exploit the redundancy, we go with the zigzag scan. Okay, then What is the next block? We have entropy encoder. Already we have seen this entropy encoder. The example is nothing but Huffman coding. Huffman coding. You can just write down the entropy encoder. The entropy encoder implements lossless encoding like Huffman coding. So actually speaking, when I'm talking about the please pay attention. When I'm talking about the image compression, when I'm talking about the image compression, this is nothing but image is getting converted into some text or number by using encoding, okay, and this text is compressed. Compressed is nothing but encoding, okay, and then it is getting transmitted. So can I say this image compression as a whole is a lossy compression? And when I talk about the text, because you have converted this into this, and then text is converted into encoding, or we have encoded them. So can I say for text encoding, it is nothing but lossless compression? Okay. So in the image compression, we have lossy as well as lossless. Okay. So whenever lossless you talk about entropy encoder, like Huffman coding. Where we have used in the text encoding. And text as far as text encoding is concerned, you know that it is a lossless compression. Okay. So the image is converted into text. Text is nothing but what? Ones and zeros. Encoding is nothing but what? You are converting into ones and zeros. Everything converted into ones and zeros. Okay. So as an image compression as a whole is a lossy compression, but whenever you see into the details where you are having the conversion from image into the text or ones and zeros, here in the specific area you have lossless compression. An example I have told you, Huffman coding, that is entropy encoding. Okay. Now my question is, if you see properly, now can I say entropy encoder is a last block as far as compression is concerned? So in the image compression, your last block is entropy encoder. And if I ask you, tell me where you have achieved compression. So you will say we have achieved compression in at two stages. This is important. Please pay attention. You have achieved compression of the image at two stages. The first stage was where? During quantization. Quantization may be वही होता है. We are not actually transmitting the original number. We are reducing to the lower value. That means unwanted frequencies are discarded. Okay. So where you are using the quantization, that is the one stage where compression is done. Where the second stage where the compression is done? I have told you compression is nothing but encoding. So can I say entropy encoder is the second stage where you are doing where you are compressing the further data. So two stages, at the two stages, the compression is actually happening. First during the quantization, second during the encoding. That is entropy encoding. Okay. So these two are the stages where actually you are doing the compression. So write down this thing. This is important. At two stages, actually the images are getting compressed. At two stages, the images are getting compressed. First during quantization, and second during entropy encoding. Okay, write on the note now. See, decompression I'm not going to give the in the dictation, because this is the inverse what we are doing. Okay, quantization में जो भी हम कर रहे हैं, dequantization में उसका inverse कर रहे हैं, DCT लगा रहे हैं, IDCT लगा रहे हैं. Okay, so nothing more to write down about the decompression. Compression is important because this is under the JPEG compression. So write down one note. In the quantization, in the quantization, less important frequencies are discarded. Less important frequencies are discarded. Less important frequencies are discarded. Full stop. Thus, higher frequencies are reduced to zero. Thus, higher frequencies are reduced to zero. Thus, higher frequencies are reduced to zero. Full stop. Hence, lossy compression. Hence, lossy compression. Hence, lossy compression. Full stop. When DCT is performed, in the same note, write down, when DCT is performed, 90% will be in the lower frequency component. 90% will be in lower frequency component. 90% will be in the 90% will be in the lower frequency component. Okay. So this is in general about the DC JPEG format. Okay. So whenever the question is asked, you explain each and everything whatever I have explained you today. Okay. Depending upon the marks, for how many marks it is asked. Okay. You go on explaining with the block diagram as well as the figures. These figures and the block diagrams are more important. Okay. And with respect to these block diagrams and the figures, you just give the description. Okay. You give the description. Okay. So the next time we will be talking about JPEG, that is a particular format for that JPEG 2000. Okay. And the remaining part we'll see in the next picture. Okay. So if you have any questions, any doubt, you please ask. Priyanka ma'am is there? Attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
हाँ, sir.
So if you have any questions or any queries you have regarding this, you please ask. Others can leave.
सर मेरे क्विज क्वेश्चंस का रिकॉर्ड होना है सैंपल एमसीक्यूज
अच्छा हाँ okay sample na see I had a discussion with this one Sally ma'am. She is taking in D14A na, so we are thinking that instead of giving you sample questions, you can just refer SandFoundry, that there is a website na, SandFoundry. So from there also you will get the many sample questions will be available. Okay. So if you talk about the sample questions, do remember one thing, when you are Google searching the sample questions for your DCE subject, okay, these sample questions over the internet or over the website will not be taken for your exam, final exam. Okay. So if you want the sample questions, you can refer the website, that is SandFoundry. .com. So here you will have the many sample questions. Okay. So if you want that I should give the sample questions, I will also do the same thing. I will take some 15 questions from here and I will give it to you. Okay. Because you just want to know the sample questions, and always whatever we will be giving you the sample questions, those questions won't be asked in the exam. Okay. And you must have also got the format, the template of questions. Okay. 5 questions of 2 marks each, and the remaining 10 questions of 1 mark each. Okay. And 40 minutes are there for you to submit your responses. So instead of asking me the sample questions, I would just say you just go with the SandFoundry.com and see many sample questions are there. And then also if you have the questions, you can ask. And if you want that I should specifically give you 15 questions, I will be doing the same thing. I will go from the website and I will give you. Because if I want the question bank, if I want the pool of questions, okay, then for your the questions for your exam, I won't be taking from the website. I have to design by myself. Okay. So sample questions, you go for this.
So, but the type of question which will be asked in the UTs will be same as SandFoundry's?
Yeah, obviously.
The type of question.
See, remember that you will be only given 40 minutes. First thing, you have to answer these 15 questions in 40 minutes. 5 questions of 2 marker, 10 questions of 1 marker. Okay, so no question of asking you the problems or numerical values. Okay, that will consume more time. So we will be preferably going with the questions which you will be unable to give your response. Okay, within one minute, within 1 minute. Okay, and for 2 markers also, if you are putting some higher level questions, it will be also of the such a manner that you won't have to do some calculations, more calculations, which will consume more time. Okay, so we are designing the questions in such a manner that you will have to give the answer in a minimum time, and you won't it won't take much of the time to solve a single problem. Okay, so depending upon that, we will be giving you the questions, but maximum questions will be objective type. Objective in the sense, it will be like, and nowhere will be using all of the above, none of the above. Okay, it will be a specific, it will be specific. So that's why I have asked you to prepare yourself in terms of factual as well as conceptual. Okay, your fact should be your concept should be clear. Okay, and we will be also saying that questions should be in such a manner that you will give the answer within a minute. It won't take more than that. So 15 questions you will be able to solve in 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, and the rest of the time you can utilize for rechecking. Okay.
ओके सर तुम्ही जे 15 to 16 सम जे सॉल्व करून पाठवणार होते ना, म्हणजे तुम्ही जे बोलताय ते पाठवतायत तर पाठव, असं म्हणजे क्लास रेडी आहे ते पण समजेल.
नाही, मग पाठवायचं असेल तर मग मला 15 क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला पाठवतो मी. पाठवायचं का तुम्हाला मेल थ्रू सॅम्पल?
हा करा.
ठीक आहे, I will mail you. But then also, not only for my subject, for other subjects also you refer this Ant Foundry. Okay, just to have the feel how the MCQ questions will be asked. Clear?
Okay sir, thank you sir.
Okay.
सर
थैंक यू.
हाँ
सर, और ब्लॉक डायग्राम्स होंगे ना, तो सर वो कैसे पूछे जाएंगे?
नहीं, वो ब्लॉक डायग्राम्स नहीं पूछे जाएंगे.
मतलब उसका मतलब ब्लॉक डायग्राम के बारे में, किसी एक ब्लॉक के बारे में ऐसा कुछ होगा क्या?
हाँ, पूछ सकते हैं ना कि I can ask them any a particular block diagram. For example, if I ask you about 8x8 blocks, I can ask you, tell me the one pixel blocks no total number of pixels. It will be 60, 61, 63, 64. You will say 64. Okay. So what I meant to say that your facts, your concepts, your foundation should be strong to answer such type of questions. But nowhere in the question I will be drawing the block diagram. I can just mention that in the JPEG compression technique, okay, the image size should be of so and so. So it is like 8x8, 3x8, 10x10. It's an easy question. Okay, you can give the answer. It is 8x8. So most of the time the facts. Okay. So no such questions will be asked where you will be you will be having the dilemma, or you will be in confused state. It will be straightforward. Okay, you will be able to give the answer, and no questions will be asked in which the fourth option will be all of the above, none of the above. No, we are not entertaining such type of option. It will be straightforward and fact dependent. It will be dependent on the facts.
Sir.
So
we'll be having questions where we have to label some block diagram ka part or something like that.